Hello everybody, welcome back to another video here on my channel with me, Steve, the bandana wearing man. I'm just trying something different. I mean, I just want to put on a bandana because usually when I'm doing something on my day off, I like to listen to music or just do a lot of stuff to keep myself busy a lot.
From ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
So for this video, I'm going to be doing on my channel is a game of ESPN baseball. And I think there's numbers in there. I just forgot what the number is. And it's not even loading up. There it goes. Okay. It is ESPN baseball. And as you see, the cover person on there is Jason Giambi from the New York Yankees. At that time, yeah, I had to get a PlayStation controller. Well, it is a PlayStation controller. It's not like a PS2 one. Well, it works for both systems. Usually the PS2 controllers are colored black. But yeah, this game's taking a while to load. I bought this PlayStation 2 at a flea market, and so far, I mean, it seems to be working pretty good. Alright, so let's take a look at the rosters, because all the rosters that you have on there and all these people are mostly retired. There may be some on here that are still playing. I will name some on here, but we'll take a look. So we got the Diamondbacks. I think there's one for pitchers and there's one for batters. I didn't want to do that. Go back. Okay. It shows like the names in alphabetical order. To view their player card, you press L2, and it'll show their stats and the rest of the years when they played. Okay. Where's the one that like shows the batters? Like where's the button that like here we go. The square button. Okay. All right. So for the Diamondbacks, the pitchers: Elmer Descends, Casey Fossum. Some people on here I think never really heard of, but how do you look at their card again? There we go. Oh, that is a real player. Okay, sometimes I think there were some names on there that didn't look real, but here's one. Randy Johnson. As soon as I look at sorry. I just want to see if this person's a real... Yeah, he is. Okay. So there we have it. Randy Johnson. And his overall is a 90. 40 years young at that time. Still a young guy, but you know what I mean. And his pitching stats, of course... His greatest one was, in my opinion, 2001. As you see there, 21 wins, 6 losses, 2.49 ERA, but 2002 he had a lower ERA and more wins. But in 2001, he had 372 strikeouts, as you see right there, and 347 and 364, all with Arizona. And then 2003, he struggled a little bit, unfortunately. He spent 1 year, well, not really 1 year, but 1 season kind of in Houston. He was dominant. He was 10-1. ERA was 1.28. With Seattle, he was 9-10 with an ERA of 4.33, and he got traded to Houston. Something they really weren't too thrilled about, but it is the way it goes in baseball. He also did spend some time with Montreal, has it on there as well too. Then Seattle, of course, he was an all-star many, many times in 1993, 94, 95, and so on. Yep, the big unit. Okay, so we also got Mike Koplov. Some of these names I've probably never heard of. Brandon Lyon, Matt Manti, I remember him. Pretty good closer for them. Jesse Orosco, former Oriole. Jim Parquet, John Patterson. Yeah, Brady Raggio. Never heard of that name, but does have stats on there. You got Shane Reynolds. Steven Randolph, I'm sorry, but there's Shane Reynolds. Jose Valverde when he was starting out. So far, no active players on here. Brandon Webb, who actually had a really good season with the Arizona Diamondbacks at one time. Kurt Schilling is not on here because he was with the Boston Red Sox. Now, to the players... Roberto Almar, yes, a former Oriole, and was with Arizona, but his better years are with the Blue Jays, the Orioles, and the Indians. They're called the Cleveland Guardians now, but yeah. Carlos Baerga, I think this is around the time his career was about come to an end. I mean, had some pretty good numbers with Cleveland, like 95, 93, and 92. Yeah, really good stuff he had, but, yep, I keep hitting that button. The circle button's always for help. There's another former Oriole, Steve Findlay. He had good seasons with San Diego. He was an all-star in 97. And I think a few other times, 96. He had 195 hits. I don't think he was an all-star, though. But he was with Baltimore. He struggled in 1990. In 1989, he was doing okay, but he missed a lot of games because of injury. There I go again, pressing that button. And yes, Roberto Almar, former Oriole, in 1996, 1997, and 1998. Best season was 1996. Had he played in 162 games, probably would have had over 200 hits. Something I think he did do in his career, he did not. 193 was his highest with Baltimore and Cleveland. Okay. Fielding was also very good too, but in his later years, his better years were definitely with, like I said, with Cleveland, Baltimore, and Toronto. He also played with San Diego. Almost pressed the circle button. Luis Gonzalez. This guy had the one great season in 2001 with 57 home runs. Also spent time with Detroit and Houston and the Chicago Cubs. Yeah, I mean, he was putting up pretty big numbers, but unfortunately never going to make it to the Hall of Fame. I mean, but he had that really good season in 2001. Shane Hillenbrand, Richie Sexson, big guy that I think he was like, I don't know how tall he was, but he was like 6'9", maybe, something like that. Somewhere around Randy Johnson's height, but really great player. Hit a lot of home runs too, usually average over 30 something, but yeah, he was an all-star a few times too. Now let's move on. The Rockies, Garrett Atkins, one-time Oriole, Jeremy Burnitz, Vinny Castilla. This is based, all the stats are from the 2003 roster, but this is based on the 2004 season. Todd Helton, his rating is a 99 because, yeah, he was a big player. I mean, he always was hitting them hits a lot, getting so many home runs and doubles and hits and averaging, like hitting over 330, 370. Yeah. Now I think he's a Hall of Famer. Yep. Royce Clayton, remember him? Charles Johnson, former Oriole. He had a pretty good season in 2000 with the Orioles, but they traded him to Florida, or Chicago, actually, it has on there, which I wish they didn't do, but it is what they chose to do. But, yeah. Now, so far, I mean, I'm still looking for players here that are still active. And there's Larry Walker, now a Hall of Famer. And the pitchers, Sean Chacon, Travis Driscoll, former Oriole on there, Scott Ellerton, Sean Estes, Jason Jennings, rest in peace. Was it Joe Kennedy? Oh my God. I gotta look it up real quick. I don't want to mess up, I think it's Joe Kennedy, unfortunately, but let me look at, Jason Jennings. Yeah, he's retired. I mean, he's not the one. It was Joe Kennedy. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. Yeah, Joe Kennedy, who was a pitcher. Unfortunately, he passed in 2007. I mean, he was a... I think I've seen him pitch before. I mean, he was with Tampa Bay, and he was with the Rockies, Athletics, Diamondbacks, and Blue Jays. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Rest in peace, Joe Kennedy. Denny Nagel, Steve Reed, who was an Oriole one time. Yeah, he was all right. All right. Sorry for the way I sound, too. I mean, I'm battling a little bit of a sore throat and a cough a little bit. I took a COVID test yesterday. It came back negative, which is good, but some people have been telling me you have to do it twice. I never really knew that, but... Wilson Alvarez. Let's take a look at this guy. He actually threw a no-hitter against the Orioles, I think in 1991 or something like that, whatever year. But he had some pretty good seasons with Chicago, and I don't think it was I think he was an all-star. Let me take that back. But yeah, on the Dodgers, Eric Gagne, who was a amazing closer for them, but he also was a starting pitcher back in the day, but then he went to closer. And they also have him in MLB The Show, a game that people are playing, now to this day. But there are, it's nice to play, these games as well, too. Yeah, Eric Gagne saved so many games, 55 in 2003, and I think he won I thought it was the MVP or the Cy Young Award, one of them. I'm not going to look it up, but Kazuhishi Ishii, whatever that's pronounced, I think that was wrong. Edwin Jackson was an Oriole one time. Jose Lima, rest in peace. Rodney Myers, not Randy, because Randy Myers was a pitcher for the Orioles on here. Rodney Myers, I don't know if they're related. They might be. Look like twins as well to me. God. Sorry. Hideo Nomo threw a no-hitter against the Orioles in 2001. 13-10 he finished with the Red Sox and had a 4.50 ERA, which is not good, but then returned to the Dodgers and went 16-6 with a 3.39 ERA, which is actually really good. At 2003, 16-13 with a 3.09 ERA. Another really good season for him. 2000 with Detroit, he struggled. Then he was with Milwaukee in 1999. I did not know that. And then the Dodgers, 95 was his best year, and he started the All-Star game for the National League. Who else? Dallas Perez. Jeff Weaver, brother of Jared Weaver. Now the hitters. Let's see. Adrian Beltray, who will be a Hall of Famer. Juan Encarnacion, who unfortunately had that unfortunate end to his career when he was in the on-deck circle and a ball hit him in the eye or the face or something, and he just pretty much retired after that, I think. Jeremy Giambi, Jason Giambi's brother, rest in peace. Very sad about him. I mean, good player, too. Sean Green, a player I consider underrated because he had some pretty good seasons. Never really got a lot of credit, in my opinion. Jose Hernandez, who I believe is a coach for the Orioles right now. Todd Hundley, who had a pretty good careers with the Mets. Cesar Torres, former Oriole. Paul LaDuca. Dave Roberts, who's the manager of the Dodgers now. Bubba Trammell. Robin Ventura, who was the manager of the White Sox. Now the Padres. Brian Giles, yeah. Ramon Hernandez, former Oriole. Eugene Kingsale, who was an Oriole. Ryan Klesko, pretty good player. Terrence Long, Mark Loretta. A lot of good names on here. Phil Nevin, Ray Ordonez, Jay Payton, former Mets players. And the pitchers, Rod Beck, rest in peace. Adam Eaton, former Oriole. Joey Hamilton, seen him pitch with the Blue Jays. Sterling Hitchcock. I believe he's one of the sons of, he isn't. I was thinking of Stottlemyre. I'm sorry. Trevor Hoffman, Mel and Todd Stottlemyre. Mel and Todd Stottlemyre. I think there's another one too, but. Just answering a message. Yep, Trevor Hoffman, who I believe is a Hall of Famer now. Great closer. I mean, I liked him a lot more than Mariano Rivera. I mean, but both of them were great closers. But yeah, Jake Peavy. Yep, Jake Peavy, who had pretty good seasons. I think he won a Cy Young Award. Yeah, this is when he was starting out, of course. This is again based on 2004. David Wells, one-time Oriole in 1996, threw a perfect game with the Yankees in 1998. And now the hitters. Actually, we already looked at the hitters. I'm sorry. All right, the San Francisco Giants, and yeah, Barry Bonds is not in the game. Yeah, because of what happened and all that stuff, and he is not in the game. I think they have somebody else in here that has a different name, and I don't really know. There it is, Joe Young. That is Barry Bonds. Yeah, because of the fact that they could not use him in the game. You could probably, edit him, and you could probably make him Barry Bonds and put his number in there, but yeah. Ray Durham, great player. Marquise Grissom, Jeffrey Hammonds, former Oriole, very underrated player. Dustin Moore. I know I'm going on with all these, players on here, but it's my channel, and it's my choice what I do. AJ Pierzynski, pretty decent catcher in my opinion. Cody Ransom, JT Snow, another underrated player with the Angels and the Giants. Yeah, he had some pretty good seasons. I mean, he had like 150 some hits he averaged, and the Anaheim Angels that time, or Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, you want to say. He started with the Yankees in '92. Wow, I didn't know that. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, I mean, he was pretty good. That's somebody I like to see the Mad to MLB The Show, but I don't think that's going to happen. Tony Turcato. I thought that was Tony Tarasco for a second. And it is a player, just doesn't have a picture. Edgardo Alfonso right at the top. Michael Tucker. Now the pitchers. Kevin Correa. Dustin Hermanson. I believe he won a ring with the White Sox. Rob Nen. Good closer for them. Felix Rodriguez, Kirk Ruder, Jason Schmidt. He had some pretty good seasons, but he got injured, and like 2002 he did pretty good. In 2003, I think he started the All-Star game in 2003. He started with Pittsburgh and also was with Atlanta. All right, I didn't know that. A lot of information I'm finding out on here. Oh, that name at the top, Brett Tomko, Jerome Williams. Yeah, I remember all them. And Jim Brower. I think he was an Oriole one time. Now the Cubs. Joe Borowski, who was an Oriole. He was. 1995. Did like relief pitching and stuff. Only appeared in 6 games, but had a 1.23 ERA, which is actually good. Matt Clement, pretty good starting pitcher. Ryan Dempster, another good one. Kyle Farnsworth. I always called him Kyle Fartsworth for some reason, but I don't know why. LaTroy Hawkins, Greg Maddox, who returned to the Cubs in this one. He was a Cub before, but had a lot of great seasons with the Atlanta Braves. Usually averaged 19 wins a year. He started the 1994 All-Star Game and the 1997. Did he start the 1997 All-Star Game? I think he did. Yeah, in 1998 he did start. In 1999 he did not, but he still had, a lot of other good seasons, too. Yep. Now he's a Hall of Famer. All right, who else? Let's keep rolling. Kent Merker, former Oriole. He was okay. I think he was a starting pitcher and relief pitcher with the Orioles. 96, 3-6 with an ERA of 7.76. Then went to Cleveland. He was mostly a relief pitcher, but he was a starter like back in the day. But I still have not seen anybody on here that's active. I really have not. Mark Pryor, who had like a pretty good season, but too many injuries, unfortunately. Kerry Wood, who was a starter in the beginning, then went to closer. Jamie Wright, brother of Jarrett Wright, and Carlos Zambrano, now the hitters. And you'll see somebody on here that actually is in this game. Moises Alou, Alex S. Gonzalez, Tom Goodwin, Mark Grudzielanek, Derek Lee, one-time Oriole in 2011. I say one-time. If I say former, that means they spent like a year with the Orioles. If I say the other way, that means that they were only with the Orioles for just a little bit. Yep. He was okay in 2011 with us, but we traded him to Atlanta. Corey Patterson, another former Oriole. And there he is, Sammy Sosa. Yes. And he was an Oriole in 2005, surprisingly. I mean, you can question me about that, but it's true. Look it up. Of course, always averaging 60-some home runs, and, yep. I think he won the MVP in 1998, or one of them years, but him and Mark McGwire were always battling it out. He started out with Chicago and Texas, then went to the Cubs. Yep. Pretty amazing, yep. Pretty amazing indeed. Todd Walker and one of them names there, Todd Hollandsworth. A name I thought was pretty cool. Now the Reds. Sean Casey, good player. Sorry. Adam Dunn, Ryan Friel, rest in peace. Ken Griffey Jr. He was struggling, though, unfortunately, with Cincinnati. Ever since he left Seattle, he had a decent season in 2000 with Cincinnati, but like I said, after he left Seattle, he just struggled after that. Injuries never stayed away, and if he had stayed healthy, I think he would have at least hit over 700 career home runs. Yep, he was an all-star in 1990, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. But in 95, he was elected but didn't start. And 96, I think he was elected but didn't start. 97, he played. 98, he played. 99, he did. 2000, he played. And the rest of them, he was not selected, not until 2007. Yep. But let's see. Austin Kearns, Barry Larkin. Yep, great player, now a Hall of Famer, along with Ken Griffey Jr. Felipe Lopez. I think he played for the Orioles one time. Whoops, sorry. Yeah, but this time he was not with the Orioles, just Toronto and Cincinnati. Let's see. D'Angelo Jimenez. Yep, there, John Vanderwall. Yep. All right, pitchers. Danny Graves, good closing pitcher. Aaron Harang. Jimmy Haynes, former Oriole. He struggled, though, again. I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot of pitchers that struggled with the Orioles. 95, he was pretty decent, but 96, his ERA was 8.29. That's horrible, unfortunately, but you try. Let's see. Todd Van Poppel, nice. Paul Wilson. Okay, Astros. Let's go with the hitters first. Brad Ausmus, Jeff Bagwell, now Hall of Famer. Lance Berkman, good player. Craig Biggio, another Hall of Famer. Lance Berkman's not a Hall of Famer, but he had some good seasons. Morgan Ensberg, who had a really funny batting stance. Richard Hidalgo, Jeff Kent, underrated second baseman. A lot of people think he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I don't know. I mean, that's not too sure about that. Now the pitchers, Roger Clemens, yep. All them great seasons he had, unfortunately, won't make it to the Hall of Fame. I mean, a lot of people really want him to be in there, but everything started coming up in those reports and all that. You know what I'm talking about. But, yeah. But he was a great pitcher. I mean, I enjoyed watching him pitch. Octavio Dotel, who was their closer. Jared Fernandez, that name not really familiar. Brad Lidge, good closer. Roy Oswalt, another good pitcher. Andy Pettit, another good pitcher. Houston was pretty stacked at that time. And they did go to the World Series, I think, in 2005, I think. It was the White Sox and Astros, I think. But it wound up being the White Sox win the World Series in 2005. Now the Brewers, Craig Counsell, who I believe is the manager for them right now. Ben Grieve, Bill Hall, who was an Oriole one time. Wes Helms, I remember that guy. Jeff Jenkins, good player, nice swing. Chad Moeller, Oriole in 2009. Lyle Overbay, Scott Putsednik, good base stealer. Ricky Weeks, the pitchers. Chris Capuano, pretty good lefty. Doug Davis, yep. Wayne Franklin, I've heard of that name. Matt Kinney, Danny Kolb, yep. Ben Sheets, who had some pretty good seasons, but he struggled, unfortunately, with injuries. And that's it for those. Next, the Pirates. Let's go to the batters. Jason Bay, who was starting out. I think he had an all-star season once or twice, something like that. Jason Kendall, very good catcher. Raul Mondesi, good player for the Blue Jays. Tyke Redmond, I think he was an Oriole one time. Freddie Sanchez, who had a couple good seasons. Chris Singleton, a former Oriole in 2002. I don't know if he's related to Ken Singleton. I don't really think he is, but Jack Wilson, another name too. Whoop. I had to look at the pitchers. Okay, Chris Benson, name I see already, who was a former Oriole in 2006, I think. Yeah, I think he was. Mike Gonzalez, relief pitcher. I don't know. I think there was a few of these. He is a lefty. That might be him. He was an Oriole in 2010 and 11, I believe. 10, he struggled. In 11, he did better. Jose Mesa, former Oriole. He was a starting pitcher for the Orioles, but then he went to closer. Like, 1990, he was okay with Baltimore, but 91, he struggled in rotation. 92, unfortunately, you see with the ERA. Then he went to Cleveland. Then he became a closer in 95. Well, maybe 94. I don't really know exactly what year. Then pitched for Seattle, San Francisco, Philadelphia, and there you go. Hey, he was a pretty good closer. Oliver Perez. Actually, this might be the only person that is still playing to this day. This might be the only person that's still active. I believe Oliver Perez is still pitching. So, yeah. And I think there'll be another. And Kip Wells, yeah, I remember him, and Ryan Vogelsong. All right. And we already looked at the batters. Cardinals. Now, here we go. Let's see. Andy Bettis, or Alan Bennis. I think I remember that name. Chris Carpenter, good pitcher. Cal Eldred, yep. Jason Isringhausen, good closer. Ray King, I think I remember that guy. Steve Klein, who was an Oriole in 2005. Yep. Jason Marquis, I remember him. Matt Morris, Jason Simataki, whatever that name is, but yeah, I remember that name. Jeff Suppan, yeah, make some Suppan. I love the name. And Woody Williams, yep. And now here's another one, yep, here we go. Marlon Anderson, Wilson Delgado, Jim Edmonds, very good outfielder. Let's see, Mike Matheny, I believe he's a manager now, and there he is. Albert Pujols. Two people that are still active. Albert Pujols is currently with the Cardinals again. Yep, of course, rating is 100 because he was having some pretty good seasons, as you see there. Now, of course, he'll definitely be a Hall of Famer. Edgar Renteria, good player. Kerry Robinson, Scott Rowland, Reggie Sanders. Yep, Greg Vaughn. Yeah, a lot of good names. We'll be getting up to the Orioles eventually, but we just got the other teams. Antonio Alfonseca. Yeah, good closer. I mean, yeah, oops, sorry. Yeah, he was, like, with the Marlins, and he closed, like, 45 games, and then I think they took him out of the closer spot. Yep. Paul Bird, who had that interesting wind-up. Mike Hampton, Russ Ortiz, one-time Oriole, I think, in 2005. John Smoltz, who went to the closer role after he was a starting pitcher. He had a really good season in 2002. I don't understand why they took him out of the rotation. I mean, he had some pretty good numbers there. I mean, the only one that wasn't so great was 1994. Had a 4.14 ERA. He was probably injured, too. At 93, 3.62 ERA, not all that great, but still, not too bad there. But I just don't understand why they took him out of the closer role, or out of the starting rotation, excuse me. Jarrett Wright, one time, he was an Oriole in 2007, I think. Now the hitters, Mark DeRosa, J.D. Drew. And when I would play this game, I would always put the players, like, on the exact team, like, what hat they're wearing. Like, if they have a Braves hat on, I keep them on the squad. But if they have a different hat on, then I put them on the other team. Andrew Jones and Chipper Jones, Marcus Giles, Jesse Garcia, former Oriole, Rafael Farcal, Julio Franco, who played, for a pretty good while. And here he's at age 42, and of course had some good seasons. Played with Cleveland, the White Sox, Texas. Yep, 2,358 hits. Kind of surprising, he's not a Hall of Famer, but I guess... Well, yeah. Gary Matthews Jr., another former Oriole, and Eli Marrero. Shoot. Sorry, I keep doing that a lot. He was with him in 2002, and he was with him in 2003. Yep. Okay. See where we're at now. That's about it. Okay, now the Marlins, who won the World Series in 2003, of course. Got Josh Beckett, Armando Benitez, former Oriole, Nate Bump, A.J. Burnett. I kind of wish he was an Oriole, but he never was. Darren Oliver, yeah. Carl Pavano, who was almost an Oriole in 2004, I think, or whatever year the Orioles tried to sign him. Brad Petty. Yep. Dontrell Willis, the D-Train, as they call him. Now the players, Miguel Cabrera. Three people that are still active. There's probably someone here that I missed, but Luis Castillo, Ramon Castro, yeah, Ryan Christensen, Jeff Conine, former Oriole. And of course, he's in an Orioles hat. And like I said, if they were in that hat or ever, I would put them on the other team. Will Cordero, Alex Gonzalez, Lenny Harris, Mike Lowell, Mike Mordecai, yeah, Juan Pierre, good player. Mike Redmond, who also was a manager, I think. Aesop Choi, and Gerald Williams. Okay, next, the Expos. The Montreal Expos, of course. 2004 was the last season. I don't mean to cough in my hand, but sorry about that. but this is the last season they would be known as the Montreal Expos. Tony Armas, who I thought was an all-star, but I can't remember. Rocky Biddle, Randy Choate, Chad Cordero, pretty good closer. Livan Hernandez, good pitcher. Tomo Oka, another pitcher, and it was pretty good, I think. And the players, Tony Batista, an Oriole in 2001, 2, and 3. He was an all-star in 2002, but he struck out a lot of times, I think, too, and his average just was really low. Orlando Cabrera, Andy Chavez, one-time Oriole. Carl Everett, Nick Johnson, Oriole in 2012. I think Andy Chavez was with us in 2012. I think so. Jose Vidro, I believe, is an all-star. Brad Wilkerson and Greg Zahn, another former Oriole. Yep. So many names, I know. Now, the Mets, Scott Erickson, who was an Oriole from 1995 to 2002. Had some pretty good seasons. Felt like he should have been an all-star maybe once with us, but he wasn't. Tom Glavine, who I think was entering his first season with the, his second season with the Mets. Yeah, he had some good seasons with the Braves, but yeah, he started the 92 All-Star game. And I thought he started the 91 All-Star game. I think he did. I'm not sure. You have to correct me. But Aaron Heilman, Al Leiter. I think he has a son that's now pitching now. Mark Leiter, or whatever his name is. I think that's who it is. Mike Stanton. Not the hitter, Mike Stanton, when he was known as. Now it's Giancarlo Stanton. This is Mike Stanton, the relief pitcher. Steve Traxel, who was an Oriole a couple times. Wasn't really too big on him. I mean, he was all right. David Weathers and Dan Wheeler. Yep. Now the players. Mike Cameron, part of the Ken Griffey Jr. trade. Roger Cedeno, Cliff Floyd, Kareem Garcia, former Oriole. Kazuo Matsui, Joe McEwing, Timo Perez, Jason Phillips, Mike Piazza. But they have him credited on here as first baseman, but really he was a catcher. Yeah, all-star many, many times and hit a lot of home runs. Just very surprised, that he was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He should have been. Yep. Played for 3 teams in 1998. Look at that. The Dodgers, the Florida Marlins. Yeah, he had 5 games with them, and then the New York Mets. And I think he represented the New York Mets in the 98 All-Star game. Yeah. Who else? Jose Reyes, Mo Vaughn, good player for the Red Sox. Tai Wiggington, former Oriole. And Todd Zeile, another guy who was an Oriole in 1996. What's his name? Tai Wiggington was with the Orioles in 2010 and 2011, I think. I think he was in 2011. I'm not sure. Now, the Phillies. Real Cormier, yeah. I'm just looking something up on there. I mean, I thought... Sorry, just looking up Real Cormier, the name. Yeah, unfortunately, he passed away in 2021. I mean... Yeah, not... Yeah, sad to hear. I mean, because Lance Cormier, I believe they're related. Yep. I don't know if they are related. I'm just looking it up just to see. It's not really saying. I mean, I'm really not too sure. I don't really know. But anyway, let's continue. Roberto Hernandez, good. I think he was a closer. Yeah, he was with Kansas City, Tampa Bay, a little bit of San Francisco, and Chicago, the White Sox. Yeah. I keep pressing that button. I'm sorry about that. I know we're like up to a lot of minutes, in the video, but that's all right. Kevin Millwood, former Oriole in 2010. Eric Milton, Brett Myers, Vicente Padilla, Billy Wagner, really good closer. I feel like he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Randy Wolf, pitcher with the Orioles in 2012. Tim Worrell, who was an Oriole in 2000, I want to say. Yep, I'm right. And he also was with Chicago, so he probably was with the Orioles for a little bit, then he got traded. Or the other way around, he was with the Cubs and got traded to us, but I think he was with us and then he got traded to the Cubs. Now the hitters: Bobby Abreu, David Bell, Pat Burrell, Marlon Byrd. And like I said, a lot of names in this game. Doug Glanville, A.J. Hinch, Ricky Leday. Doug Glanville thinks he's doing commentary now. Mike Lieberthal, Tomas Perez, Placido Polanco, Jimmy Rollins, yep, just starting out. Jim Thome, yeah, Oriole in 2012. Chase Utley when he was starting out. And Sean Wooten. No Ryan Howard in this. I don't think he came around until like 2005 or 6. Now the Angels, I don't know if they were the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim at this time or the California Angels. I don't really know. Bartolo Colon. I believe he's retired, and I don't think he's still pitching. Calvin Escobar, Kevin Gregg, former Oriole in 2011 and 12. John Lackey, good pitcher. Ramon Ortiz, Troy Percival, good closer. Francisco Rodriguez, or K-Rod, he would take over the closer role after Troy Percival. Aaron Seeley, Scott Shields, Jared Washburn, good lefty. Ben Weber. Now the players: Garrett Anderson, great player. David Eckstein, Darren Erstad, Sean Figgins, Troy Gloss. Had some pretty good seasons with them. Always hit like a lot of home runs. Yep. Who else? Vladimir Guerrero entering his first season with them. He almost was going to be an Oriole in 2004, but he signed with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, which is his choice. I mean, yep. But he did play one season with the Orioles in 2011. Jose Guillen, Shane Halter, Adam Kennedy, Benji Molina, Jose Molina, and you also have Yadier Molina, all three of the Molinas. And they all did play in the same time, but they never played on the same team. Tim Salmon, great player, always hit a lot of home runs and stuff. I mean, yeah, definitely a great player. Okay, Barry Wesson. Like I said, some of these names may not be real, but okay, it is. Okay. Just looking. Alfredo Amezaga, yep. Alright. Let's see. Who else? Athletics. Let's look at the pitchers. Chad Bradford, former Oriole. Justin Dukeshire, who was with the Orioles in 2011 in spring training, but he did not make the roster. Alright, just looking outside. Chris Hammond, Rich Harden, pretty good pitcher. Chad Harville, Tim Hudson, another good pitcher. Mark Mulder, another good pitcher. Mark Redmond, yeah, Oakland had some pretty good starting pitchers. Arthur Rhodes. They got a lot of young starting pitchers as well, too. I mean, yeah. Mike Wood, Dustin Wright, Barry Zito, who won the Cy Young in 2002. Had a really good season. Yep, and also pitched at San Francisco. Kind of wish he was an Oriole, but yeah. Now the players: Eric Burns, one-time Oriole in 2005. Yeah. Eric Chavez, good player. Bobby Crosby, not the YouTuber, of course, but a guy that replaced Miguel Tejada at shortstop. But yeah. Won the Rookie of the Year award in 2004. Rubiel Durazo, Jermaine Dye, good player. A lot of these people, you know, were pretty good players. Mark Ellis, Scott Hatteberg, Eric Karros, good player with the Dodgers. Mark Kotsay, who's the manager, actually, of the Athletics now. Billy McMillan, I think I remember that. Adam Melhuse, I think I remember that name, too. And Marco Scudero. Yep. Now the Mariners. Then we just got a few more, then we'll get into a game. I'm sorry. Ryan Franklin, Freddie Garcia, one-time Oriole in 2013. Eddie Gordardo, good pitcher. Shigetoshi Hasagawa, good relief pitcher. I think, didn't he do closing pitching too? A little bit with Seattle and also with the Anaheim Angels that time. Of course, they're now the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, but yeah. Kevin Jarvis, Aaron Looper, Julio Mateo, okay. Gil Mesh, Jamie Moyer, former Oriole, 93, 94, 95. Joel Pinheiro, good pitcher. J.J. Putz. Rafael Soriano, another good pitcher. Aaron Taylor and Ron Vallone, okay. Now the hitters, Rich Aurelia, who spent a lot of times with San Francisco. Willie Bloomquist, Brett Boone, brother of Aaron Boone. Pat Borders, Ben Davis, Raul Ibanez, Ichiro Suzuki, who will definitely be a Hall of Famer. Great season 2001, and other memorable good seasons too that he had, and also good fielder too. I keep hitting the circle button, which I shouldn't be hitting. Edgar Martinez, good designated hitter, was a third baseman at the beginning of his career. Quentin McCracken, just that name, it was pretty cool. Myers, John Olerud, good first baseman. Scott Spezio, Dan Wilson, Randy Wynn, who I believe the Orioles like invited to spring training or something. I thought he was going to sign a deal with the Orioles, but I don't think he ever did. Unless he was in the minors, I don't know. Now the Rangers, Joaquin Benoit, Mickey Callaway, Francisco Cordero, good closer. R.A. Dickey had a pretty good season with Toronto. Ryan Dreese, Chan-Ho Park, Colby Lewis, yeah. Jeff Nelson, Jay Powell, Kenny Rogers, yep, good. And also, if you push the button, then you can either promote them to their move them to another team or release them to free agency. There's all this stuff they have on there too. Cancel that. Brian Schaus, yeah. Now the players, Chad Allen, who apparently was an Oriole. Well, it hasn't been an Oriole uniform, but that name is not familiar to me. He must have been in spring training or something. I don't know if it says he doesn't have any stats there with the Orioles, as far as I know. Yeah, just with actually had a pretty decent season with Minnesota in 1999, but okay. Sorry about that. It was just okay, Rod Barajas, Hank Blaylock, David DeLucci. Yeah, he was an Oriole. 1997 he was. Yep. All right. Einar Diaz, Brad Fulmer. I think Einar Diaz was a coach with the Orioles one time. Ken Huckabee, who was an Oriole in 2004 for a little bit. Who else we got? Brian Jordan. Yep, good player with the Braves. Ramon Navarre, who was another... Actually, was an Oriole, I think, in 2004 or 5, one of them years. I don't really know. Herbert Perry, Alfonso Soriano, good player. Mark Teixeira, who I was hoping was going to be an Oriole in 2009, but it didn't happen. And Michael Young, another good player. Now, the White Sox. Pitchers, Mark Burley, Neil Kotz, John Garland, Billy Koch, good closer. Esteban Loaiza, Damaso Marte, Scott Schoenweiss, yep. Kelly Wunsch, whatever that name is pronounced, yep. Sandy Alomar, or Sandy Alomar Jr., yep. Marvin Bernard, good player with the Giants. Joe Crady, Ross Glode, Willie Harris, Paul Konerko, Carlos Lee, Maglio Ordonez, yep. Aaron Rowan. And there's Frank Thomas, the big hurt. Unfortunately, he's having some injuries, I think. And should have been an all-star, at least a bunch of times. At least 8, I think. But had a lot of really, really good seasons with Chicago. And now he's a Hall of Famer. Who else? Juan Uribe. Jose Valentin, yep. Now the Indians. Not this time. They're still the Indians to me, like I said. But, I was like, it's going to rain outside as the weather looks really, really cloudy. But all right, so for Cleveland, Chad Durbin. Was he an Oriole? No. It just sounded like that he was to me. Let's say Cliff Lee. Kind of wish was an Oriole, but it never happened. Terry Mulholland. CC Sabathia. Yep. Jake Westbrook, Bob Wickman, Mark Wohlers. Was he an Oriole? He wasn't. I just thought, for that, I just thought he was. Now the players, Ronnie Belliard, Casey Blake, he was an Oriole in 2001. Then he went to Minnesota, I think, or the other way around. I don't really know. Yep. Who else? Milton Bradley, yeah. Coco Chris, yep. Jody Garroot, I remember that guy. Travis Hafner, good player. Matt Lawton, another good player. John McDonald, I remember him. Brandon Phillips, Omar Vizquel. Yep, a lot of names on here, like I said. Now the Tigers, Jeremy Bonderman. Tigers had a really, really bad season in 2003. They had like 105 losses or something, maybe more than that, maybe 109. I really don't know. Or 113. I don't really know. I remember that guy, Nate Cornego. I think it's pronounced. I don't know. Jason Johnson, former Oriole. Mike Maroth, yeah. Nate Robertson, yep. Fernando Rodney. Esteban Yan, former Oriole. No Justin Verlander in here because Justin Verlander, I think, didn't come around till 2005, I think, the next year. Again, this roster is for 2004. The stats, show from 2003. Brent Abernathy, Mike DeFelice, Bobby Estalella, I think that's how it's pronounced. Carlos Guillen, Bobby Higginson, Omar Infante, Brandon Inge, Craig Monroe. A lot of names, yeah. Carlos Pena, Ivan Rodriguez, or Pudge. Fernando Vina, Rondell White, and Dimitri Young. Okay. Then we got a few more teams to go. The Royals. Jeremy Alfelt, Brian Anderson, Kevin Apier. Jason Grimsley, former Oriole. Well, he was in 2004 and 5, I think. Or maybe just 5. I don't know. Mike McDougal, yep. Closer. Scott Sullivan, yeah. I think I remember that. Chris Wilson. The players, Carlos Beltran when he was starting out. I feel like he might be a Hall of Famer, but I don't know. Angel Baroa, D. Brown, David Jesus, Juan Gonzalez. I must have forgot he was with the Kansas City Royals, but he had a lot of good seasons with Texas, of course. But had a lot of injuries, I think, later on. But they had 1998 was probably his best season. 157 RBIs. That's crazy. But he had a really, really good swing, too. Hit a lot of home runs. Yeah. Really good player. Tony Graffinino, Aaron Guile, Ken Harvey. Yep. Joe Randa, Desi Relaford, Benito Santiago, Matt Stairs, Mike Sweeney. Yeah. The Twins. I think the Orioles are coming up. Grant Balfour, Sean Douglas, who was an Oriole. Struggled a lot with the ERA, but had 2 wins, only 1 loss in 2001, but the others, yeah. Let's see, Kyle Loesch, Joe Nathan, yep, good closer. Brad Radke, was with him for a good amount of seasons. Juan Rincon, Johan Santana when he was starting out. Yep, had some pretty good seasons. Also pitched with the Mets. And I think it was with the Orioles in the minors in 2013, but never made the roster. One of them years, I don't know. Carlos Silva, or maybe 2014, I don't know. Now the hitters. Michael Kadire, Lou Ford, who was an Oriole in 2012, I think. Christian Guzman, Torrey Hunter, great center fielder. Jacques Jones, Corey Koski, Matthew Lekroy, Doug Mankiewicz, Justin Morneau when he was starting out. Just looking on the weather on here, this looks like it's going to rain, maybe. No, it's okay outside. Augie Ojeda, yeah, I remember that name. Sorry. Hope it's not boring, everybody. I mean, I'm not getting bored, but yeah. Shannon Stewart. There's the Orioles. Okay, now the pitchers. Kurt Ainsworth, who was only with us for a little bit. I mean, I'm going to go on and on about this. Aaron Bolding, that guy wasn't really a real pitcher. I mean, like I said, there are some names on here that are not real. R.D. Dean, another person that, yeah. Rick Bauer, who struggled in the rotation but did slightly better, I think, in the bullpen. Mike Dejan, who was only with us for a little bit in 2004, then we traded him. Eric Dubose was an okay lefty. Buddy Groom, who I thought was an underrated left-hander. Jorge Julio, who had a pretty much decent season, closing out games. Like 2002, he was fantastic, but 2003, ERA was up, but saved 36 games, but lost 7. Yeah. Eric Lambert, he was not a pitcher. I don't think he was a pitcher. Rodrigo Lopez, good relief or starter for the Orioles. Had a good season 2002, and 2003 kind of struggled. John Parrish, pretty good lefty. Sidney Ponson, who had that one good season in 2003, but he was with San Francisco, but then he returned to the Orioles in 2004. Yeah, he pitched a lot of games, but 2003 was his only best year. Matt Riley, who unfortunately I think retired at a young age. I guess just had too many injuries or something. B.J. Ryan, good lefty, and that's it. Now the hitters. Larry Bigby, underrated outfielder. Will Brook, he's not a real player. And just a scouting report they give about them. Marty Cordova, who didn't play in 2004. He was with us in 2002 and 2003. Jack Cust, who was not bad. Jay Gibbons, pretty good outfielder. Geronimo Heel, whatever you want to pronounce it. He was okay for catcher. Jerry Harrison Jr. was pretty good. Javi Lopez, who had a really good season with the Orioles in 2004. Yeah, and on here you can edit the player. Now, he was not number 8 with the Orioles. He was number 18. That's one thing you can, edit their stuff on here. And I think if somebody has that number, they'll probably, change it. Or no, they don't. Okay. Who else? Kurt Maffei? No. Luis Matos. Pretty decent outfielder. Melvin Mora, who moved to third base and was actually pretty good. Jose Morban, who he was okay. Rafael Palmeiro, who returned to the Orioles in 2004. And yeah, he unfortunately he was decent in 2004, but then 2005 he got his 3,000th hit, and after that the whole scouting or the whole report thing came up, and there you go. Tim Raines Jr., son of Tim Raines. Brian Roberts, who was starting out, had some really good seasons. David Segui, who unfortunately just had too many injuries. He returned to the Orioles in 2001. B.J. Surhoff, underrated player, as I always say. And Miguel Tejada, who joined the Orioles in 2004 when, what's the name? The Athletics called up that guy, Bobby Crosby, or that guy, was we taking his spot. And he was number 10 with the Orioles. He was not number 4. And now the Red Sox, the last team. Bronson Arroyo with that nice windup. Alan Embry, Keith Folk, Byung Hung Kim, something like that. Derek Lowe, Mark Malaska, Pedro Martinez. Actually, the Yankees, I think, will be the last team. Or no, and the Blue Jays and Devil Rays. Okay, we got a couple more. I'm sorry. Ramiro Mendoza, Kurt Schilling. Yep, he was an Oriole in 1988, 89, and 90. He was having a pretty good season in 1990. His ERA was good, but he wound up being traded to the Astros. And also went for the Phillies and Arizona, and there you go. Let's see, who else? Mike Timlin, former Oriole. 99, he was okay. He saved 27 games. ERA was 3.57, which is all right. But 2000, he struggled when he got traded to St. Louis. So, yeah, he was all right. And Tim Wakefield, the knuckleball, and Scott Williamson, another, I believe is a former Oriole. Mark Bellhorn, Ellis Burks, good outfielder. Had some good seasons with Cleveland and San Francisco. Also with Colorado. Boston in the beginning. Yep. The White Sox for a little bit. Yeah. Yep. All right, who else? Johnny Damon. Good player. Nomar Garcia Parra. Overall 100. I mean, he had really good season in 1998. And 2000, he batted .372, but played in 140 games, but still had pretty good season. I don't know if he was with the Red Sox in 2004. He might have been. Gabe Kapler, who's now a manager, I think, for the Giants. David McCarthy, Doug Mirabelli, Bill Miller, Trot Nixon, David Ortiz, now going to be elected or inducted to the Hall of Fame. All right. Manny Ramirez, yep. Pokey Reese, Terry Shumford, Jason Varitek, Tony Womack, yep. Now the Yankees. Kevin Brown, former Oriole in 1995, did all right with us. 3.60 ERA is not bad, but thought he would probably win more than that. I mean, he had some pretty good seasons with other teams too. Jose Contreras, Flash Gordon, whatever way they would call him. Felix Heredia, Steve Carsey, John Lieber, Mike Messina. Yes, an Oriole from 1991 to 2000. In my opinion, he had better seasons with the Orioles, but he had some good seasons with the Yankees. But ERA was just up there a little bit. ERA was always low, in my opinion, with Baltimore, like 3.50, 3.49, 3.21. 96 is a little high. 95 was pretty good. 94 was pretty good, but the season was cut short because of the strike. 93, he was pretty good. 92, he was good. And he was an all-star with the Orioles in 92, 93, 94. Should have been in 95, in my opinion, but pitched a lot of innings with the Orioles, too. But, yeah. Who else? Brett Prince, Paul Quantrill. Yeah, so many. Like I said, Mariano Rivera, who's now a Hall of Famer. Great closer, Javier Vasquez, Gabe White. Now the pitchers, or the hitters, excuse me. Aaron Boone, who's now the manager for them. Miguel Cairo, Tony Clark, John Flaherty, Jason Giambi, the cover boy. Yep. Derek Jeter. Mike Lamb, Kenny Lofton. Hideki Matsui, Jorge Posada, Alex Rodriguez. Yep, was rated 100. Yep. Gary Sheffield, who's with them. Yep. Ruben Sierra, Bernie Williams, Enrique Wilson. I thought that he was with the Orioles one time. I can't remember. Now the Devil Rays, or now as they're called, the Tampa Bay Rays. Sorry, just looking out there. Sorry about that. Anyway, Paul Abbott, Danny Baez, who was an Oriole in 2000. I think 2009 he was. Rob Bell, who was an Oriole in 2006, I think. Or 2007, one of them. DeJuan Brazelton, yeah. Lance Carter, Jesus Colome, Chad Gaudin. I think he was an Oriole. Or I don't know. Jeremy Gonzalez, John Halama. I think he was an Oriole one time. I don't know what year, though. I think he was. Travis Harper, Mark Hendrickson, who was an Oriole in 2009, 2010. I think 2011. I think 2012. I can't remember. Todd Jones. He was a pretty good closer for Detroit. And he also with Houston. Just want to look up some information on him real quick. Yeah, he was an all-star in 2000. American League Rollie Relief Man. American League Rollie's Relief Man Award winner in 2000. American League Saves leader in 2000 with Detroit. Interesting. Okay. Who else? Seth McClung. Damian Moss. He was an Oriole in 2003. But I think he was with San Francisco a little bit. Then he came to Baltimore. But he struggled, unfortunately. Who else? Carlos Reyes, Todd Ritchie, Jorge Sosa, yeah. Doug Wechter, Mike Williams, and Victor Zambrano. He was an Oriole in 2007, I think. Now the hitters. Rocco Baldelli, who's now the manager of the Minnesota Twins. Jeff Blum, Carl Crawford, Davey Cruz, who was an Oriole in 2003. He did okay. I mean, not spectacular or anything. I mean, but he had a decent season. Pretty good. Jose Cruz Jr., good player for Toronto. Robert Fick, Brooke Fordyce, former Oriole. Did all right with the Orioles. I mean, nothing like just pretty much, not bad. Toby Hall, Aubrey Huff, who was an Oriole in 2007, 8, and 9. That was traded to San Francisco. I think he also played for Houston. And I think he was also with Detroit. I'm not too sure. Julio Lugo, rest in peace. Tino Martinez. Fred McGriff. Just looking up names again. Yeah, unfortunately for Julio Lugo, I mean, that's very sad, unfortunately. But yeah, Fred McGriff, Tino Martinez. I feel like Fred McGriff should be in the Hall of Fame, but he is not. Eduardo Perez, Mitch Molesky. I mean, that name didn't really sound that familiar. Ray Sanchez, Jared Sandberg, Fernando Tatis Sr., his son, plays for the San Diego Padres, but I think he's still injured. Okay, and this will be the last team. Well, they do have the free agents, but we're not really going to go through that. All right, Blue Jays, Terry Adams, Miguel Batista, Bruce Chen, former Oriole in 2004, I think, in 2005. Vinny Chalk, I remember that guy. Don't think he was an Oriole, but Roy Halladay, rest in peace. Pat Hankin, former Oriole, 2001, 2002, and 2003, as you see. And 2001, he had a good ERA, but too many injuries, unfortunately. In 2003, he just had more losses than wins and a high ERA. Had a good season in 1996, and was an All-Star a few times as well with Toronto. They returned to Toronto in 2004. Yeah, Roy Halladay, unfortunately, when we heard about that, I mean, that was really, really sad. Now he's a Hall of Famer, which is great. Yep. All right, who else? Ted Lilly. Justin Spire, yeah. Josh Towers, former Oriole. Had a good season with the Blue Jays in 2003, 8-1, but his ERA was 4.48. Yeah. Pete Walker, yeah. And now the hitters. Dave Berg, Kevin Cash. I believe he's the manager now of the Tampa Bay Rays. Frank Catalanato, Carlos Delgado. I think he was with a different team in 2004, though. Kind of wish that he was an Oriole in 2004 or 5. Actually, I think it was 2005. I take that back. Hit a lot of home runs. Not in the Hall of Fame, though, unfortunately. Chris Gomez, former Oriole. Eric Hinsky, Orlando Hudson, Reed Johnson, Greg Myers, former Oriole. A few times. I mean, he was all right. Yep. Played for a lot of teams. I mean, yep. Let's see. Josh Phelps. Vernon Wells, great outfielder. Pretty underrated, I think. Jason Worth. I think he was drafted by the Orioles at one year, but never played for them. And Chris Woodward. Who I believe is a manager for, I forget what team that he manages. I think it's, I know you're all telling me right now, but I can't remember who it is. I think it's the Rangers. Yeah, the free agents, I mean, there are way too many names on here, and I just think, John Bale, there's an Oriole in there, and James Baldwin, another former Oriole. You're not going to find Barry Bonds in here. I mean, I'm just showing you, like, maybe some names here that might be familiar or something like that. Andres Galarraga, he's in there. Joe Girardi. He was the manager of the Phillies, I believe. Ricky Henderson, now a Hall of Famer. Mike Kincaid, former Oriole. I'll just go through a few. Travis Lee. Robert Machado. No Manny Machado. He didn't come until 2012. Mark McLemore, former Oriole. Let's see. Troy O'Leary. And then I would look up like what teams they played with in 2004 and then put them on the squad. Jeff Rebele, Chris Richard, another Oriole. Yep. And I think now we'll get into a game. I know I said we weren't really going to go through these people. John Rocker, former closer. Willis Roberts, another former Oriole. Kazuhiro Sasaki, good closer for Seattle. Okay, yeah, I think we're just going to get into this. Wait a minute, was that Alan Trammell? Yeah, okay, I guess there must have been two of them. Alan Trammell was a player for the Detroit Tigers. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Ugeth Urbina. Yeah. I think that's going to do it. Okay. So now, we're going to get into a game. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll do a quick game. We'll just do, like, one of these. I'll be Baltimore, of course. For the teams, now, I think this is the one, yeah, where you can, like, use alternate uniforms. There's their, like, the Marlins 1999 road uniforms and the 1993 home unis. Nice. But let's look for a different team. Don't want to face, like, a National League team. Just want to do regular one like that. Let's just make it the Yankees. For the Orioles, got the alternate black unis, the 1971 home uniforms, which are really, really nice. The 1944 home uniforms, the 1910 uniforms, 1952, and the regular home uniforms and the stadium. Actually, I gotta go back and fix the roster. Okay, let's get into this. I just thought I made like a mistake or something, but anyway, so I'm gonna fix the roster a little bit. We'll put Jerry Hairston up there. Miguel Tejada will bat third. Melvin Mora at second. Rafael Palmeiro. Javi Lopez. Jay Gibbons. David Segui. Let's move BJ Surhoff up a little bit. Do I want David Segui to bat eighth, though? Do I want to do that? We're facing a righty. I mean, I don't know. This is kind of tough. Let me see here. Who else can... Okay, we'll put Jack Cuss to be the DH instead. Okay, so for the Yankees, Kenny Lofton leads off in center field. Derek Jeter at short. Alex Rodriguez at third. Jason Giambi at first. Gary Sheffield in right. Bernie Williams at DH. Hideki Matsui in left. Jorge Posada at catcher. And Miguel Cairo will be at second base. And on the mound will be Mike Mussina. For the Orioles, Jerry Hairston Jr. at second base. Melvin Moore at third. Miguel Tejada at short. Rafael Palmeiro at first. Javi Lopez at catcher. BJ Surhoff in left. Jay Gibbons in right. Jack Cust at DH. And Luis Matos in center field. And on the mound will be Sidney Ponson. And there's your pitching matchup. Now, I think this is pretty cool. I mean, I haven't played this game in a while, so you're going to have to bear with me, folks. So, yeah, Mike Mussina always, well, yeah, he was definitely 100 times better than Sidney Ponson. I mean, Ponson just never really, like, kept his ERA down and just never really had a good season. And here we are. Turn up my TV a little bit. So here we go. Man, graphics probably don't look all that great, unfortunately, because of the fact that this is from 2004. And this is before, I think they did have high definition, but they weren't really, like, using it, a whole lot. The defense for the Orioles, as you see, and there's Sidney Ponson's numbers. And this is really cool how it's like an ESPN telecast. It's really amazing. John Miller and Rex Hudler, I believe, doing the commentary. So Kenny Lofton leads off. Now, here we go. Now, I'll just throw the fastball. Oof, 98 miles per hour. I mean, I don't remember Sidney Ponson throwing it that fast. And Rex Hudler yells, "Swing the bat!" Whoop. Up the middle, that's going to be a hit. Okay. Now Derek Jeter coming up. I have respect for Derek Jeter. A lot of people do not look out. Well, because of the fact that one, you know, yes, he was a Yankee, but, ooh, nice catch to Hada. But he had, oh, no, what was he doing? Oh, that's ridiculous. I never see anybody do that, you know, the shortstop make the catch and the person, you know, go to second base like that. I have never seen that before. Now, A-Rod. I like Alex Rodriguez. I mean, I know the whole steroids thing and all that stuff, but really, he was pretty good. Whoa. That was a pitch out, looked like. I mean, I didn't mean to do that. It's all right. Ground ball to third. Moving back to second. Jeez. That was a close play, but luckily, ooh, that looks pretty close. Ooh. That looked really, really close. But okay. All right, so Jason Giambi now up. A little bit high. Okay. Let's try this one. He's going to run, and Palmeiro's going to make the play, and that's 3 outs. Okay, we'll take that. So that's who's due up for us, and somehow we had an error. Okay, I don't really remember doing that, but all right. There's the Moose, Mike Mussina. Like I said, he always had better numbers, I think, with the Orioles, but he did win a lot with the Yankees. Anyway, Jerry Harrison Jr. leads it off. Now, hold on. I think there's a way you can, like, okay, that's the game difficulty. The pitch preview. Now, let's, the batting aim, I guess it'll be cursor. We'll do that. Probably should have done this before I started. Okay. Ooh. Like I said, I have not played this game in a while, so I'm probably going to be really rusty. A little ground ball. Well, okay, and he'll tag me. That's fine. Now, Melvin Mora. Like I said, he had some pretty good seasons with the Orioles. He was a 2-time All-Star. Look out. Little blooper. That's actually going to fall. Okay. Anyway, it'll go. We'll take it. Now Miguel Tejada. Yep. Won the MVP in 2002. But also had good seasons with Baltimore. Let's see what the Moose shall throw. It's going to be an out. Rafael Palmeiro. One of the best Orioles to play first base. I mean, I know a lot of people weren't happy, you know, with what happened, you know, years later, but still. I shouldn't have done that. Give me something good to hit. That's not it. Foul ball. Foul again. Oh, ground ball went off of Messina, but it's going to be an out. Oh, well. Sheffield with a drive in the right center field, but it's going to drop down for a hit. Barney Williams hits a deep drive to right. Gibbons has got to get under it, and he will. Okay, I don't know what that button does, but I was trying to throw it to the cutoff man, but I didn't want to throw it to third. Got 2 strikes on Matsui now, looking pretty good. He's swung at a couple pitches out of the zone, and that's way foul. Let's try this one. As the controller vibrates, you probably didn't hear that. Get it, Tejada! What are you doing? Get the ball. Rotate. Oh my God, throw it. Oh my God, he's gonna score. Phooey. Then their confidence level goes up like that. Just a little thing that they have. All right, 2 strikes on Posada right now. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, it's a pop-up. You're out. Little ground ball, and Tejada has it. Oh no! It pulled him off the bag. Come on now. Jeez, what kind of throw was that? Guy stole second base with 2 outs. He's probably going to score another run, so Lofton gets a 2-run single. Now, this ain't looking too good. Got 2 outs, and they got a 3-0 lead. Oh no, you threw it to the wrong guy. Come on. Before he made that play, I heard somebody yell and say, "Your commercials stink, Jeter." Well, that was a horrible inning. So we're down 3-0 going to the bottom of the second. All right, so now I'm going to put on the pitch preview. It'll show me where it's going. Now, this is definitely going to help out. All right, we'll take that. 150 hits in 2003 and over 1,100 hits. He hit a good amount. There's B.J. Surhoff. So it'll pretty much show like where the pitch is going to be going. That way, this makes it a little bit easier. Ooh, that was a strike. All right. That's a ball. I probably should have been doing this when the game started. Oh, down the line. Ooh, nice play. But it's only going to get one. Yep, just barely. Yeah, Alex Rodriguez was a pretty good fielder. I mean, I liked him better at shortstop, though. Third base, he was not bad. But, yeah. Of course, the way Camden Yards looks on here, I mean, it looks pretty awesome to me. You got the clock thing in the background. You got, the way the field looks. I mean, it looks pretty nice. Uh-oh. Going to drop? Yes, it will. Can I send him? Uh-oh, it's going to be close. Going to be close. No! Oh, man. Yep, he was out, unfortunately. Man. Oh, for sure I was going to be able to score, but denied. That's a ball. I don't know if he's thrown that knuckle curve yet. I mean, I don't know. If Jack Cuss can do anything. Nope. Whoa, look out. Like I said, I mean, the graphics aren't really, all that great, but gameplay is actually pretty nice. They had other games too, like MLB 2K, like the 2K series. They always were pretty fun to play, like for PS2 or Xbox 360, even the original Xbox. And we have 2 errors. Okay. Alex Rodriguez has just left the building. Jeez, 510 feet? Are you serious? And a no doubter right there as he does. Will it show if it landed in the upper deck or something? Or is... Okay, they're not going to show it, so it must have. Nobody ever has hit a home run in the upper deck at Camden Yards. I think the one in a game, the most they've hit it is into the second deck. But I don't think it's ever bounced like off of the upper deck. Come on, he went around on that. There's another high fly ball, and it's gone. The cover boy gets a home run. Man, Ponzone, you are struggling. Apparently he wanted the ball, I think, on the inside corner, but I threw it on the outside, and he took it the other way. Man.
Sheffield will come up. He singled his last time.
Okay, let's see what we can do here. Ground ball to short. Tahana, nice play for the out.
Has got it, and his throw is in time for out number 1.
Fly ball right. Gibbons has it. No trouble. How do I throw it to the cutoff, man? How do I do that?
First pitch, here it comes.
A little fly ball center field. Hairston after it, and he makes the catch. All right. So 5-0 Yankees lead. Let's see if we can get back into this. That might. Nope, that's not.
In time for the out.
And nice decent play there by the second baseman, but yep. Out. Jerry Hairston with a fly ball, and that is going to be an out. Melvin Mora now up. That is a ball. I think that's going to be low. Yep. There's a knuckle curve. 2-0.
The 2-0 pitch on the way.
I think I got under that, and that did. All right. 3 outs. Throws it into the crowd. What a nice guy. So 5-0, top of the 4th. Let's see. The next inning will get a little better. And the ESPN thing, the ESPN update comes up. That is pretty awesome. And the hitting leaders there, as they show on there, that's pretty awesome too. All right. Swing and a miss. I think I got this one. Are you serious? What the heck is going on here? Oh no, he's gonna. Oh, well, he would have been out at third if he had gone.
Well, there's a